So it sounds like I have the audio sorted. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning stream. I'm just going to be working on the cover for Arksong Chapter 8, or what might be the cover. I'm still trying to decide whether I actually like this or not. If not, it will just be a nice splash image. And a good bit of practice as well. So it's been quite a while since I've done a full illustration, especially one taken completely to completion. The last one that I did, which was of one of the characters, War Chief Olgara, was of course not quite finished. It was more of a sort of sketch, so it'll be nice to get a finished illustration out. Just going to reposition myself slightly because I've had to bring the mic forward. Give me a second. All right, I think we're good to go. So here's a sketch that I did. I actually did it during a convention, a Comic-Con the other day, but I'd been planning it in my head for ages, all the different forms it might take. So even though this was the first one that I did, I was pretty much sure this was what I wanted. So all good. Now how to approach this? Yeah, we'll outline it. I'm going to focus on just doing lyrica first, and then I will put in Feng Hang in the background later on. So I'm just going to do a rough outline. A bit more details will come later. For now, I just want to position everything correctly. Add in some vague colour in the background, and then we'll go from there. I still very much illustrate like a painter. Like I'm working with traditional mediums, it's just easier. Pretty much the only time where I don't work like that is when I am doing actual comic pages, in which case, yeah, I think very much in terms of line work and stuff like that, but generally speaking, yeah, I'll soon bother with that for me. Yeah, I work like a painter. I'm trying to almost halve things out with the paint. I quite like it. I'm probably going to work on, apart from putting down the flat color now, after this, I'm probably going to work on just one layer. I prefer working on one layer, like I said, just like I would if I was working traditional mediums. It's just easier for me in most cases. Leave the jacket for now. Yeah, it was actually a conversation that I had on, I think, Threads the other day, asking whether people actually change the look of their characters a lot throughout their comic series, and it was interesting hearing people's responses because I, of course, change my character look almost every chapter. Not massive changes. Sometimes it will be that in one chapter they have a jacket, in the other they don't. That might be a bit more drastic, like in this chapter where most of the characters have a completely different look simply because a bit of time's passed, like a couple of weeks, compared to chapter 7 and chapter 6. Like the gap between chapter 6 and chapter 8 is quite a few weeks. And also, why not? The characters are quite clearly discernible from each other without their clothing. You won't get confused. There's not too many characters in the story, so I think it's fine to change the outfits every now and then. It's also getting colder. We're heading towards winter in Arksong at the moment, so I think it makes sense to just drag this across. If we will drag across, minimize the spoilers for you guys. Yeah, I think it makes sense within Arksong to have different. Here we go. Just gonna grab the color. Uh, to have different outfits as the weather changes slightly. I mean, generally speaking, it is quite cold in Aries, generally speaking, like where Arksong's taking place, because they are a floating continent. Yeah, the fact that it's filled with Nevergy means that there is some reality bending going on with the climates and stuff. So yes, very much not as cold as it should be for that altitude, but it is quite cold. They're still getting high winds and stuff. So I've just upgraded their jackets, have a bit more fur, a bit more coverage on their clothes, things like that. And also for some of them, their clothes got quite damaged in the last chapter. Trying not to give too many spoilers here, but yeah, their clothes did get damaged. So just need to take something that still carries the general language of the person, but it's different enough that the viewers are still getting something fresh. So, for example, Luke has still got the open sides on the side of her clothing, and she's still working with those main characters of red, black, and gold, which are the Lycanide colours, of course. Feng has the same, but there's just some slight differences. Like I said, to keep it fresh. I actually created these designs like quite a few years ago. I have multiple designs for each character here, most which will probably never get seen, but hey, there will be some opportunities for flashbacks in coming chapters. Not long ones, just sort of shots into the past. And also, the general thing, I do just want to share a bit more about what these characters were up to, what they were doing in some shape or form, whether it's comics or just short stories which have illustrations. I do want to share that sort of stuff. And later on, after Arksong's finish. Because, of course, there's a lot of claims around some of the feats that both Lyrica and Rhyme have done. So, why don't we look into the stories behind them? Okay, so I'm literally just blocking in colours now. I really didn't go high on the detail with the outline, so I might have made more work for myself later on, but I don't mind. Not going to finish this in one sitting either. But hopefully I'll be able to get at least the face done. I think one of the problems that I may face is trying to differentiate, like clearly differentiate Lyrica from Storm. Since Storm's grown in popularity recently, I never really paid much attention to her beyond the look that she sort of had in the movies and the old X-Men, the one where she had the white outfit for X-Men Evolution. But recently she's had a lot more of the looks which to be fair, look a lot like Lyrica, and I don't want there to be confusion because Lyrica was not inspired by Storm, but she just looks a lot like her, which is quite frustrating. But hey, who knows? Maybe it was an accident, a subconscious thing. But yeah, it's up to me to make sure that that difference is clear enough so there's no confusion. So that when people see my character, they know that it's my character. It's not a Marvel character or something else like that. All right, and that will go there once it's done. Okay. Now I think we're probably in a pretty good position. Should I put the jacket on? I'll put the jacket on. Go for white fur. Can always clean that later. Right. Been fighting with the colour of the jacket for a while. Don't know whether I want it to be red or whether I want it to be. This red's a bit too dark. I'll use it as base. Or whether I want it to be black, so I might see quite a bit of messing around with the colour of the back. Or if you see this stream and then come back and see the actual final version, you might be surprised if it's that is quite different. So if it is, yeah, it's because I've been tossing with the color for quite a few years actually. I might go with red torso section, and black on the sleeves. But we'll see. So something like that. But we'll see. Like that. Okay, I think we're on something here. There was no damage to the boots. We'll keep on the same boots. Like that, and that, that. And yeah, we're all good. Good to go. Let's plop on the background and get straight in. In the draft, she's actually holding blades, but we'll bring those in later. Let's run the hands later. Cool, cool, cool. And off we go. We'll jump straight in with the face. I'm going to change my. Oops, let's not delete this. Can I change my brush to a hard round pressure opacity? Yeah, that's fine by me. I'll just go in with some shadow. I like to do my shadows in purple. If you, well, bluish purple, cold colors. If you have a chance and and you want to understand why I do the colors that I do, so just mostly this. Check out my video that I posted up not too long ago on color theory, and you understand how warm and cool colors work and what they do and why I like to use them so much. Go. I should probably pick a light source. We'll say light source like that. So more light source like that. It's going to be weird because the thing in the background is going to be on fire. So I'm just going to add another light source in. All right, we'll do straight on light source. So from the front with some bounce light from the fire on the left because I think his head with the flames on it will be here. Yeah, that should be fine. If that's the case and it's going to be straight on, then the shadows will be like this. Move this way. We spend quite a lot of time on the mouth, but there's no point with her because she wears lipstick. So here we go. Let's just put the red in now. Make sure it's not too dry. Hmm. Do I need to up this quality slightly? Let me up it. No, not camera size. We need an increased image size. We turn this resolution up to 400. Alright. Hopefully it won't lag my stream too much. By the way, if you have any questions about my process of what I'm doing, or even just a comment in general, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer them. Probably should have faded out the outline a little bit before I merged the layers. Okay. What you gonna do? Strength is a bit low. Okay, this blue's a bit too blue, and this brown's a bit too brown, so let's mess with some more colours. Warm this up a little bit. There we go. The issues I've gone for a bit, the blue I've gone for is a bit too saturated, and possibly a bit too just blue in general. I should have gone for more of a purple. You might saw that maybe. A bit gentler. There we go. Right, let's just go over some of these parts and see if it helps the blend be a bit more smooth. Just go even more on the face. One thing that you spot about me is that I jump around a lot. I might even stop working on his face in a bit and like not working on his shoulder or something or her leg. I tend to find that if you look at an area for too long, you can start to miss a lot of the errors that are there because you're so used to seeing it. At this stage, her eyes are purple. Well, her eyes purple? Everyone should have purple eyes in this scene, yeah. Anyone who's checked out the Crestomathy on the Hawthorne Arts website will be familiar with what the purple eyes have. I mean, in the past, and by at the moment, it's not such a big deal, but during the time of, say, a piece of someone spots that your eyes are purple, yeah, you're getting signed up to a wall. Whether you like it or not. If you are wondering what the Crestomathy is, those of you who have been with Arksong since the beginning might remember that I used to have augmented reality in it, where people could, you know, use a specific app and certain places, such as character introductions, locations, chapter headings, and the Crestomathies, which is those weird statues with crystals in them that are dotted around a continent, yeah, they would flash up extra information on your device. It was very, very cool. Loads of people loved it. But then after a while, it was no longer supported. So, and this is the issue, and it's what I spoke about in my video the other day on the problem with relying on other companies for like social media companies and stuff because all that was lost. But yeah, the whole idea behind it was that Arc Knights have the ability, or people that, yeah, have nether G linked abilities, have the ability to leave fragments of themselves behind, especially during periods of strong emotion or a lot of change. So these are like random records, sometimes left by children, sometimes left by soldiers and things like that for what happened in the past. So I think at the moment we've seen ones from, well, they're all uploaded. I've uploaded every single one that I plan to upload. But at the moment, the ones that we've seen one in Rafamir, we've seen one at the Skywater Temple. We saw one in Uran Town in Grandarisia. Yeah, they're all there. Some of my favourite ones are the ones left behind by Ephra, because we don't actually see, and don't forget Ephra's a character from Astor's Piece, we don't actually see in Astor's Piece. Um, he's he does talk about it slightly, but he doesn't straight up say why he is where he is when you meet him. Flip horizontal. Yeah, when Asta meets him in Asta's piece, nor does he exactly say why he made the choice that he did. So it sort of adds a little bit more to that, gives you a little glimpse inside his head. Also features, of course, people such as Emerest. And you might know or recognize an image of Emerest because, of course, it's one of the first concept images I made for Arksong. It's the one with the golden bridge and the like stone person holding a hammer above it. It's like one of the last shots on one of the last pages in Arksong Chapter 7. And yeah, that's Emerest. He was an art knight, or had the potential to be one. It wasn't really a proper one. It was like a low level one, so he would have had like sort of standard high strength and endurance. So he was, of course, able to leave an impression behind. Purple's a bit too strong. Do I need some warmth to counteract that? Maybe. How long have we got? I've got another, we'll say half an hour, maybe slightly less. Okay, let's change the shape of the chin. I think one of the things that I've struggled with, especially with Lyrica, partially because of her hairstyle and just a general design, is people not realizing that she is a woman at first until they read it. Which I mean, she's a pirate. I don't think it's that I've never seen it as much of a big deal, but it does make me wonder if there's something wrong with the way that I'm visually describing her. So this color is proving difficult. So yeah, I'm going to try and while still keeping her toughness, just make it clear that she is a young lady. How old is she? I've messed with the ages so much recently because, of course, I first started it when I was a teenager, so they all seemed very old to me, the characters. But then now that I'm no longer a teenager, uh, it did hit me that quite a few of the characters were a bit young, so I've aged them somewhat quite a bit, unless it's been written into the actual story their age, in which case I've had to stay. Uh, so I think Lyrica is 23, if I'm correct. Feng is 22. I think he might have started as 21, but turned 22 somewhere along the story. Uh, Kelpie started as 17. She's now 18. And John is still 17. He's still 17. He's still, because that's important to his character. The fact that he is a prodigy. He's at uni very early when they find him. And I think it is a interesting thing to compare his behavior, his reaction to things, to Kelpies. They are similar in age, but quite different in their world experience. And that was the whole aim with Kelpie. For Kelpie's almost like us. She's learned a lot about the world on the journey. John's learned a bit as well, but he's learned about the world from a standpoint of, hey, I've been living in here. I've been seeing the effects of the last World War that they had, and he's been, of course, essentially prepared to be a part of the military, no doubt, because he is a prodigy. He would have got picked up because the Eritrean government's just obsessed with fighting, obsessed with going to war, obsessed with conquest. It's a tad washed out. I'm very sure what to do about that at the moment. I'll have to see in context later on. Cool, cool. Normally don't put highlights until the end, but I just need to try and figure out how exactly her base is working because I'm fighting with that at the moment. It's the part of drawing where you're sort of frustrated and enjoying it at the same time, where the piece is just not becoming what you want it to, but at the same time, you're just like, all right, I'm ready for this challenge. Bring it. Does she need to be so serious? I don't know. I don't know. Let's try something different. Let's do both sides. We'll see. Too much of a pink thing. Let's why not cover it up? Oops. Here's slightly too high. Chin is slightly too big. This is the fang chin. Here's the one with the big chin, like that. There we go. Slightly softened her look as well. I think we're starting to get something. Yeah, it's a bit more recognizable. Oof, my computer is screaming. If you can hear a shh noise in the background, that is the computer. That's the fan. Right. Good, 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 good. It's been such a long time since I streamed. I don't know if I'm gonna set a regular time for it. I mean, I mostly do a lot of my drawing in the early morning, especially artsong work, comic work. So Saturday and Sunday mornings probably will be the best time to stream for me. But maybe I'll just make it that. I just do continue doing it at the spur of the moment, and I'll just post it on my social media platforms. And if you're around, you're around. It's nice as it will be to schedule. I don't think that. I don't think my circumstances make that very easy. Not there's anything special about my circumstances, it's just that during term time at least, there's just a lot of unexpected stuff that always crops up. And if something has to give, it's always going to be something. It's always going to be content creation. Unfortunately, it's why I haven't live streamed so long in the first place because content creation went when my time reduced. It was the first thing to go. Hmm, not bad. Once the eyebrows go on, that'll make a bit more sense. We'll put more detail around the eyes later, but I think we're at a good spot for now. Let me just quickly save. Da-da-da. We're not in chapter 7. Let me just drag this across quickly. Save it in chapter 8. Okay. Right, let me just check my tracker quickly. So I'm looking on the cover at the moment. Uh, I think I'm gonna have to just put that as complete because there's no real line art or inking at this stage. And here, that's not. I haven't done the background for this actually, so we'll leave that one as well. Go sideways. Flatting, started that. And the full colour, started that. So this is just for the front cover. Hope is that I can get the front cover finished way before the rest. A lot of time I leave it to the end and it just becomes annoying. I don't want to rush it, especially with this once we start entering the end game. Um, this tracker is available, by the way, for purchase, 99p, very cheap, from the website. But yeah, it's how I keep track of all my process and how well I'm doing. As you can see, I'm very early on. I am only 0% completed. uh, so sad, so sad. Not a single page completely done yet, but we won't see finished stuff until much, much later. 15 more minutes. What should we work on next? Let's do this section here. Gonna go for blue again. Or is it a purple? Let's blue it a little bit more. This will change a lot anyway once I start colouring the black. Yes, as you can see, black is never actually black in my artwork. It's very rare for it to actually be black, simply because I don't know, I just don't like using black. I was always trained to stay away from black as much as possible. It flattens your pieces, it's overpowering. Where you can, do something else. Mm. Is her head too small? Maybe. We shall see. It needs to come out a little bit more. Yeah, it's not that centered. No, it's just flat black. Something else needs to go into this. A little bit red, maybe. A bit of my crimson. Yeah, wow, this does work. Interesting. Colder. Darker. One thing that I started doing now is just working with one brush. I just find it easier. I used to do loads of brush variations and layering with them, and it works well for landscapes, but for characters, I'm just starting to find that simple is often best. It's fine. I also lost a lot of my brushes when I moved house, so that was fun. I lost brushes and everybody moved to Procreate, where brushes behave a little bit differently. And so I haven't been able to build them back up. But it's allowed me to rely less on them and some of their textural advantages they give and rely more on myself and understanding materials and knowledge. And then, of course, that translates well to traditional work as well. Because, yeah, I might paint as much anymore, but I do still sketch and draw. And I still teach. So, oh, if it's relevant. The better I get here, the better I get in my traditional work, and therefore the better I am in all the different hats I wear, whether it's teacher, illustrator, comic artist, or just me working in my sketchbook. Is that to slightly to the left? Let me just see something. Right, let's go for the middle nose. Slightly to the left, to the right, not to the left. Let's just move that over. Yeah, that's better. I hate using the symmetry tool on people. I try my best not to do it often. I just The only thing I'll happily reflect is the eye, but even then I'll do it in early stages so that they're different enough later on. I won't complete the eye fully and then cut across. I'll like get halfway or part way like these two. And that way they have enough difference. Perfectly symmetrical characters not a thing. I think even I heard someone say at Fortiche, the studio behind Arcane, they they made active effort to make people not symmetrical. That was a good choice to go with that sort of crimson red there. Last 5 or so minutes. Uh, Out of all the things that I think are most inconsistent with my artwork, and that is part of the feedback that I got on the early chapters of Arksong, back when it was reviewed by Bleeding Cool, was the body shapes. Uh, I think how muscly people are changes a lot, like the same character. So sometimes Feng Hang is massive, other times he can shrink down a bit, and that's not intentional. That's something that I've been trying to work to keep consistent. But sometimes when I'm practicing anatomy at the same time, if I'm making a concerted effort to practice anatomy, it will have that impact where I just want to show off my anatomy on everything. And I think subconsciously I was bulking up Feng Hang and even Lyrica a bit more than I would have liked. I mean, they're strong. They are chunky characters. They're strong. Um, and I did want to communicate that, but I think I might have gone a bit heavy in some chapters. Oh, you see his shoulder. A bit too uneven there. Just So one thing I've been working to do, I wonder if I can warp this. One thing I've been working to do is just to edit, transform, warp. It's just to make the character help someone right there. Is to just have the characters have slightly less sort of Western comic books muscle and be a little bit more balanced. They'll still be pretty muscly because they are actively working out to be very strong, and they are naturally quite strong because of the Arksong genetics. But sorry, not Arksong, Arknight genetics. But I did want to make them a bit more naturally strong. So, for example, Ruki, for her, I looked at because she's of course the shortest out of the batch. Um, for her, I looked at gymnasts, not so much gymnast, well, gymnasts, but also bodybuilders as well, female bodybuilders, but short ones. So it's a bit more stock, with defined muscles, but stocky. I'm trying to get that across. I definitely do think that Ruki is. She's the one with the red hair. If you're not familiar with Arksong, um, Ruki is one of the more interesting characters who you draw. Not just because her design is probably one of the most complex after Ryan, but also because for her, I tried to go for a sort of Middle Eastern look in her actual features. None of these characters have the races as we see them because it's a completely different planet. But for a lot of her references, I was looking at people sort of from, North African nations and Middle Eastern nations because I feel like they're not used as reference enough. And yet, because of course I live in quite a multicultural area, I see them all the time. I'm just like, one power character with this sort of look. But it's hard to keep it consistent, to keep a look consistent because it's so different from the others. I feel like the structure of her face and the structure of her just general build is quite unusual among my artwork. And it's something that I'm trying to improve on. I do find that I use a lot of the same body type, a lot of the same face type. I'm trying to change that, and I think that all art should be aimed to change that. Doesn't matter if the character's strong, doesn't mean that they can look exactly the same as another type of character that's strong. Alright, so the aim here is not to make Lyrica chiseled. The aim is to just insinuate the strength, muscle, and training. How are we looking? That blue is very blue. That one needs to go. Where's my red? There you go. Super talent. I always keep Navigate here, but I actually don't really use it. I haven't used it in a long time. That's part of my workflow. I tend to just zoom out. Why am I straining to look at this little box? Probably something else useful that I could put there, but I just never really thought about it. And take some of this color, just overlap it here. Keep it here. And I'll leave the rest of the gold section for now and there because I'm fairly certain that once the fire comes in, it will change how I color it. One thing that I will say about this outfit before I finish up and we continue this another day is that this outfit is the simplified version of another outfit, sort of just like how that the design for Lyrica at the moment that she's had from chapter 1 through to 6 has been oh sorry, three to 6 has been missing her jacket because she forgot it or it got left behind when she was escaping the Black Shroud. Um, yeah, this is missing the top of it, even with the jacket. The jacket's just a placeholder while she's not expecting to fight, I should say. So when you see the actual full outfit, I think hopefully you'll love this change in design as much as I do because I am quite proud of it. I actually did a whole article on Lyrica's design, did it in Design Magazine. I've got the magazine on my shelf somewhere here. Um, if I get a chance, I will repost it to my website on the blog. Last minute. Thank you, all those who tuned in. Hopefully, this will not be the last time that I see you. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep doing quite a few streams just like this one. But I think, let's see how to put some light on it. It's about time that I called it a day for now. Probably should go eat something as well. But thank you for your company. It's been fun streaming. Feel free to jump back through this and, re-watch or re-listen to any part that you found useful. And yeah, jump in a future stream. If you're subscribed, of course, it will alert you, especially if you have the bell ticked. It will alert you to when I do stream. So that may be something worth doing. You can just drop in if you want. All right, cool. I'm actually going to stop now. Thank you.